Thunderhill East bypass. It is track day, boys. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day for a track day at Thunderhill. Right now the temperature is good, but it is going to be hot as hell. Okay, like over 103 degrees ambient temperature. So let me just start off by telling you right now, I fully expect to overheat. Okay, having said that, we are doing something a little different today. First thing we're going to do is fill up. So we are not filling up with 91 octane, not even 96. We are filling up with 100. I purposely made sure that we were less than a gallon left getting here, so I could fill up with 100 octane. So here's what we're doing different. It's been a bit of a journey with the whole fuel system thing and the flex fuel installation. The FL5 is still a new platform, okay? So therefore there isn't officially flex fuel support within Flash Pro for the FL5. It's coming, that's what I hear, should be here soon. It's not here yet. So what does that mean? There's definitely people out there who are tuned on flex fuel, but the problem with it right now is you have to decide what your ethanol content is going to be, and you have to make sure you have exactly that ethanol content every time you fill up. So the only way to do that is to buy a pre-mixed drum of ethanol at E50 or E40, whatever you're going to do, and just use that. Well, I daily drive my car. It's completely inconvenient for me to do that. So the next best alternative right now is to do 100 octane. Now here's the thing. Anthony is my boy. He tunes my car. He knows the Type R's very, very well. And I would say he is the best tuner in the Bay Area, in Northern California, for the Type R platform. The K20C1 motor, same as what's in the FL5. But he doesn't really do remote tuning, okay? Now I was thinking to myself, okay, well, the situation is what it is. I'm kind of stuck. I want to run with a proper tune and really get a solid baseline on the car that's somewhat comparable to where my FK8 was when I left it off. It still won't be completely the same because I don't have all my suspension components in, but it'll be close-ish, okay? So who could I reach out to that has tuned a lot of these cars and does remote tuning that is well known and reputable? Peppo Barbosa. Peppo Barbosa. I have seen that name quite a bit throughout the years, and for those of you who don't know who Peppo is a tuner for Red Star Motoring down in Puerto Rico. Okay, Puerto Rico has been a mainstay in the import scene for just breaking class records, mostly in quarter mile. But what most people don't know about Peppo is he actually does a lot of tuning for circuit racing as well. I didn't know that either. That's something I found out recently. So Peppo's going to be remote tuning my car today on 100 octane. Now, we're not going to be on a dyno. It's going to be street tuned, so we don't really know what the horsepower numbers are going to be, but it should be close-ish to where it would be if I had about an E40 blend ethanol like I did in my FK8. So it's going to be an estimate. It should be close. I'm sure the car is going to feel fast. Again, suspension differences, so not apples to apples. And it's a 100+ degree day. You know, it's going to be one of those days. It's kind of a shakedown of sorts, but I expect to put down decent numbers. Who knows? If we get lucky and the conditions are right and I have everything set up correctly, we might even see a sub 2. Hopefully. And if we do, well, then we're right back where the FK8 was, which is awesome. So I'm going to get everything unloaded, get everything set up, finish filling up here with 100 octane, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, so we are mostly set up. I'm a little bit bummed because here's my helmet cam setup, and the Insta360 Go 2 goes right where that oval clip is, which isn't bad, except I had another clip that sits right here that gives a much better viewpoint. The one on the chin I find is a little bit too low, so I hope it turns out okay. I might have to put the camera up a little bit, try and make it work. We'll see. But anyways, we're signed in. We're just waiting for our first session. I'm not gonna have time to get the street tune yet, so we're just running out there, just get a feel for the car, where it's at. It is on a 91 octane tune right now, but it's the tune is a little bit gimp because the gas that I had in the car, unbeknownst to me, was kind of crappy. And it is what it is. It's fine. So it still feels pretty good. So we'll see where we're at. We'll just get a decent baseline. Maybe we'll just get out there and scrub the tires in and then come in, check everything, make sure it's good. We'll get the street tune, and then we'll worry about the next session. Session 1 done. So let me remind you real quick that this car is on basically stock suspension. It has Eibach springs, but it's not meant for the car. It's meant for the FK8. So not ideal. I don't even have my front camber where I want it because I have no front suspension mods. Don't have my coilovers yet with the adjustable top hats. And I'm on a 91 tune. 91. Garbage 91. I just clicked off a sub 2. 159.95. Sub 2 in a car that is definitely not as modified as my FK8 was. So for those of you who haven't been with me for that long, in my FK8 I had a few more suspension mods. More importantly, I was running E40, so the horsepower was, you know, just a little over 400 horsepower and just about 400 wheel torque. That is not at all where we're at here. This is closer to probably 350-ish, right? 350, 360-ish. It's a 91 tune. So here we are. We're already sub 2. Incredible. So we're gonna go do our download meeting, and then we're gonna get our street tune by Peppo. Hopefully it doesn't get too hot, and then we'll see what we can do later in the day. It's gonna get interesting. Street tune is done. Peppo hooked it up, got the car tuned in, dialed in on 100 octane. First session was just on a 91 tune. Still felt pretty good, but this, man, if this 100 octane feels or is as quick as I think it is, this could be a very interesting day, boys. I mean, granted, it is pretty freaking hot out here right now. It's 85 degrees, but track temperatures are well over 100. And I know many of you are probably wondering how the overheating situation is. So I was very cognizant of that, having experienced what I experienced in the FK8 Type R. And what I did was about 1.5 warm-up laps, and then a hot lap, or actually 2 hot laps, and then I brought it in. Didn't push it any further. And when I did that, at that point, the oil temp was just under 290 degrees Fahrenheit. And the water temps were fine. They were close. They were, I want to say they were 260-ish. So not bad, but I do have the race spec PWR radiator, so it's definitely doing its job. One thing that's really interesting is I can tell the intake on the FL5 is a weak point, which is weird because normally OEM intakes are pretty good, but I can see that this intake is pretty restrictive. Part of my reasoning for that, or why I think that, is because the intake air temps are about 40 degrees hotter than ambient. Doesn't seem that bad, but when you think about that's just mulling around the paddock, driving on the street, not really pushing it like you would on a track, that's high. That's a bit high. So, and I've heard that. I've heard that on a tune from others that the FL5 intake is kind of choked up a bit. So can't wait for the PRL high volume intake to come out. We'll wait for that. Definitely waiting for that. We're just waiting for the next session. I think I missed a session getting the tune, but that's okay. My time's already in. Hopefully it's good enough, and we'll head back out and see what we can do. On another note, just want to show you guys a couple of things. So this is my first time on the RT660. It's not a bad feeling tire, but I'm not able to run the camber that I really want to. So if you see here, here's the side wear indicator, and I'm definitely rolling on it. I'm at -2 camber right now, but that's with the stock suspension arms in the front completely maxed out with the retainer pin taken out. So this is as far as it will go. Ideally, I want to really be closer to -3.5, I'm thinking. But we're working with what we got. There's definitely time left in the car. There's a lot more time left in the car. Just need to get some more things dialed in. Session 2 for me, done. 2 minutes flat, and that I'm 5 to 6 miles per hour faster on the main straight with the new tune. So I had 158. It's kind of wild to think about, but I had 158 in my sights and I hit traffic. I tried to late brake going into I want to say turn 9 or 10. I think it was 9. And I ended up not locking my brakes, but hitting ABS and going too deep and messing up the whole turn. And that was the lap I did 2 minutes flat in. That's the lap that I had 158. I know I had 158. I know I had it. Bummer. So, yeah, update on the overheating. It's definitely a thing. So it's over 90 degrees ambient temperature out here. I got my car told me you need to stop because you're overheating. It was over 300. I want to say it was like 308 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was way too hot. I didn't even get a full hot lap in. I got about 90% through my hot lap, and then the engine code came up. So yeah, overheating is alive and well. Having said that, my water temps were beautiful. I didn't see anything over 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's most of the time it was around 222, 225. It's great. It's great. But after that one hot lap, I tried to do a cool down lap, and then I tried to do another hot lap, and the tires were just greasy by then, and I overheated even earlier in the lap because I wasn't coming cold out of the paddock. Yeah, I mean, on a hot day like this, really you got one shot. You really got one shot at it for tires and temperature control. So anyways, not sure if we'll do another session. Don't really know if there's anything to gain from it other than seat time, but we have tomorrow too. So I'll probably keep the same video for both days. No need to make two separate videos. So I think I'll cut it off here and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hold that thought. I totally forgot that I entered the time trial, the time attack for Lightspeed, and I qualified. So we're gonna do that here next. So we're going out at least one more time, see what we can do. All right, while we are waiting for the next session, let's talk about a couple of other mods, because there's quite a lot that has been done to the car since the last time I took it out on track. Last time out on track, the first time out on track, was 100% stock FL5. This time I have Paragon front and rear BBK, obviously the Apex wheels and RT660 tires. I have the Honda fuel system with the DW300C low pressure fuel pump. I also have the flex fuel kit, but that's completely inactive at the moment. And two-step downpipe and Miltech exhaust. And that's pretty much it. You know, it's pretty far along for an FL5, but there's definitely a lot of much more modded FK8s out there. So I'm pretty happy with things so far. Pretty happy. I still think, and this is a notation, just kind of a comment on the oil temp that's built into the FL5. I'm convinced that it's just an estimate, because at 286 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what it read, it should have been pulling power. And I couldn't tell if it actually was pulling power or if my tires were starting to get greasy. Might have been a bit of both. But if you watch a Dream Auto video on their Nürburgring lap, they were over 300 degrees Fahrenheit on the oil temp, and they said they weren't pulling power. So there's no way you could get to 300 Fahrenheit oil temp on the FK8 and it not pull power. So but on my FK8 I had an actual sandwich plate with an oil temp sensor and a proper gauge. So although this is a good measure, it's a good reference point, I still think I'm going to want a gauge at some point, like a proper oil gauge. So I know there's going to be an oil cooler out soon. I'm definitely going to need that. Once it becomes available, I will get it, and I will look into oil temp gauge options at that point. That's not good. That is not good. I got coolant spewing out of my turbo right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, oh my God. Exhibit A, why you shouldn't track a Type R in the summertime. It looks like it's just coolant that's leaking out. I hope that's really all it is. I hope there isn't any other damage, because I really don't need that in my life right now. But let's plug in and see what it says. So right now it's saying reduced power, avoid acceleration, hard acceleration, go see your dealer. Well, guess what I'm not gonna do? Turbocharger bypass control valve stuck closed. That's not good. And then turbocharger boost sensor barometric pressure sensor incorrect correlation. Thank you to Martin. You are a lifesaver. I just poured this entire jug of coolant in my car. The entire thing. And it got it back up to full, but still, it's... I haven't even tried starting it yet. I'm just too scared to. Might as well give it a shot. Here goes nothing. Sounds okay. Sounds okay. All right, we're gonna limp this back to the shop. Yeah, I think I've handled just about all I can handle for one day. So I limped it to Walmart, which was about 5 miles away, and it started spewing coolant all over the place again. I'm just not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna get a tow truck, have it towed to the shop, and deal with it when we get there. Well, managed to get the car towed down to Hybrid Works, where she will be for the next probably several weeks, until we figure out what the hell we're gonna do with the turbo. So not really sure what the condition of the turbo is. Relatively sure that the engine is okay, but we're gonna do compression tests, coolant leak tests, you know, all the pertinent checks to make sure that the car is still healthy. Thank God I was getting some work done on my EP3. So when I dropped off my Type R, I can just drive home in a car that I already had here, which I don't know if that's lucky or just sad that I have cars spread out throughout the Bay Area getting work done to them. Either way, I've had a hell of a day. I've certainly had better days than this. It was fraught with highs and lows. And now I get to go home. And who knows what's next for the Type R, because I think I just need a couple of days to unfrustrate myself. I knew better, okay? I knew better. I'll end the video this way, okay? And I want to be very, very clear about this. Everything that happened today was 100% on me. And I'll tell you why. I knew from the FK8 platform that the K20C motor has a tendency to overheat. I knew going into today that it was going to overheat. I knew it was going to be over 100 degrees outside. I knew better. I knew better, and against my better judgment, I went out and pushed it anyways. So it has zero to do with the turbo. It has zero to do with the tune. It has zero to do with the mods, really, because I could have gone out there with a stock FL5, and in this heat, I could have easily overheated it. So next step is going to be A, getting the stock turbo put back on. B, making sure that the car and engine are healthy. C, go back to a 91 tune for the stock turbo. And just work it out from there. I really don't know power-wise what direction I'll take it until maybe flex fuel becomes available for the FL5. So anyways, I share everything with you guys, okay? And I hope you appreciate that. These are the highs and lows of tracking your car, building cars, breaking them, building it again, breaking it again. This is the way it goes. This is reality right here, okay? I want you guys to see the good with the bad, because I'm not about hiding stuff from you guys. Anyways, so that is it for today's video. The biggest high, I guess, 91 tune, sub 2. And it took me quite a bit more to get there on the FK8. So that's definitely the most positive takeaway from today. We're going to come back stronger from this. I promise you guys. I'm not going to give up. Not going to give up on you. Not going to give up on the FL5. We're going to get through this together. And I'm going to show you every step of the way. So until next time, stay hungry, stay fast, stay tuned. I'm Michael Baxi, and I'm out.
Okay, I've been working like 3 jobs. Probably why I never see ya. Probably why I never have time for the fake friends that won't be ya. Oh God, I've been running now. Up early when the sun is out. Not setting out my own soul, but those real ones, they coming out. Oh, look who's reaching out. Old friends wanna feature now. They don't work, so they need it free. Ooh, you reaching out from the west side of that old town.